From UFOs to ghost and psychic powers, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now and learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. It's no secret that the US conducts covert experiments and research. While the details are murky, it is common knowledge that the US has several top-secret locations dedicated to the creation, testing, and analysis of the weapons of the future. These so-called black projects do not officially exist, and there is little oversight from Congress. Some research yields amazing results, such as the B-2 Spirit and hydrogen bombs. But black projects have also led to spectacular failures. For decades, conspiracy theorists have been fascinated by these projects, and their claims often capture public attention. The Philadelphia experiment is one of these alleged failures. Skeptics have dismissed it as nonsense, and conspiracy theorists have accused the government of covering up the truth. But it all comes down to one question: who was Carlos Allende? Here's where it gets crazy. In the mid-1950s, a UFO researcher named Morris Jessup received bizarre letters from a man calling himself Carlos Allende. According to Allende, in 1943, the U.S. Navy experimented with force fields, attempting to render an entire destroyer escort invisible. He called this the Philadelphia experiment. Carlos claimed that he was aboard a merchant ship called the USS Eldridge and bound for Algeria when he watched the USS Eldridge disappear into thin air, only to reappear soon after. Allende claimed this was evidence that Albert Einstein had solved the unified field theory, and the government was using this knowledge to experiment with teleportation and invisibility. He also claimed that the Eldridge's crew suffered lasting side effects. Allegedly, one of the sailors simply vanished in a crowded bar. Jessup asked for proof. The next letter arrived from a man calling himself Carl M. Allen, claiming he would attempt to recall more details via hypnosis. At this point, any normal person would have written Carlos off as a loon, and Jessup did just that. But the plot thickened in 1957 when the Office of Naval Research contacted Mr. Jessup. Someone had mailed them a parcel containing a heavily annotated copy of Jessup's book. The sender, Carlos Allende. At this point, the story began to spread throughout the world of conspiracies. Over the years, it has been embellished, debunked, and revived. Skeptics such as Cecil Adams dismissed the theory, pointing out that the Navy claims it had no knowledge of the experiment. According to mainstream investigators, the U.S. may have been attempting to render ship hulls functionally invisible to torpedoes, but that's a far cry from vanishing. This hasn't stopped conspiracy theorists. Some have even claimed to be aboard the Eldridge when the experiment took place. Other skeptics note that this story essentially traces back to one person. So who exactly is he? Some theorists believe that Carlos Allende was replaced by a CIA source using the name Carl Allen. This is far from the most outlandish claim about Carlos Allende. He's also been accused of working for the government as a disinfo agent, of working for aliens, and even of being an alien himself. So where does this leave us? Was Carlos Allende a government agent, an employee of ET's, or just a garden variety lunatic? The utter lack of any corroborating evidence has convinced the skeptics that the Philadelphia experiment was a hoax. But to the conspiracy theorists, it's only proof of something they don't want you to know.